The first night I heard the voice behind my wall. It whispered something impossible. I can see you. I'd moved into this small studio apartment last winter. It was a cheap place, with thin walls, nothing special. I thought the noises were just the neighbors going about their lives. Until one night, at exactly 3:09 a.m., I heard a clear voice. It came from inside the wall, a man's voice. It was calm, slow, and way too close. It said, "Are you still awake?" I froze completely. My neighbor was an elderly woman. This voice was definitely not hers. Every night after that, like clockwork, at 3:09 a.m., the voice returned. Sometimes it would laugh softly. Other times it would hum a tune I didn't recognize. And sometimes it would whisper my name. Each time, it sounded closer than before. One night, I got the courage to knock on the wall. There was no reply. But as soon as I stepped away, knock, knock, it answered back. A few days later, while cleaning, I found an old, rusty intercom device hidden behind the wardrobe. It looked broken, totally dead. But at the bottom, a name was scratched into the metal. Apartment 209 Reich. That was weird. My floor didn't even have a 209. Then I looked at my own door. My apartment number was 309. Someone had changed the number plate. Why would they do that? The next night, things got worse. The voice whispered, "Don't move. I'm right behind you." I spun around, my heart pounding in my chest. There was nothing there. But when I looked back at the wall, I saw it. A fresh fingerprint in the paint, as if someone had just pressed their finger against it from the inside. I felt watched. It was like the wall itself had eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. I recorded the audio one night and called my landlord. He came over, looking skeptical, but agreed to listen. I pressed play, and there was nothing. Absolute silence. No voice, no humming, no knocks. He looked at me, his face suddenly pale, terrified. He told me, "This apartment hasn't been rented for years. Not after what happened to Mr. Reich." My heart dropped. He went on. He believed someone lived inside his walls. That night, I stayed awake, waiting. At 3:09, the voice came back. It sounded soft, almost like it was smiling. "You're in my room, I want it back." Suddenly, the wall in front of me started to bulge outward, like a giant bubble forming under the paint. Drywall began to crack, and powder fell to the floor like snow. Then I heard it, breathing, heavy, human breathing, coming from inside the wall. The voice whispered again, closer this time, "Stand still. I'm coming through." The wall split open. A thin, pale hand slipped out of the crack. Then another. I scrambled for my phone to call for help, but the battery hit 1% and the screen went black. The lights in the apartment flickered and died. The crack in the wall grew wider. I ran for the door, but it was locked. Someone had locked it from the outside, keeping me trapped in here. The voice spoke again, but this time, it wasn't from the wall. It was right next to my ear. "If you become me, I can finally leave." A cold hand touched my shoulder. I screamed, and everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital. My landlord was standing outside my room, talking to a nurse. I heard him say, "Another one? Why do they all repeat the same story?" The nurse replied quietly, "It's the walls. Everyone hears the same man, the one who used to live here, Reich." I tried to speak, to tell them what happened, but the voice that came out of my mouth wasn't my own. It was deep, calm, and slow. The nurse stepped back, her eyes wide with fear. His voice, "It's the same." In the reflection of the window, I saw my own shadow, and it was smiling, but I wasn't. Some voices aren't heard through walls. They're heard through the person who replaces you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.